There are places where the road thins, where the world you know gives way to something older, something patient. These are the stories of people who walked that edge and what they carried back. Marek finds things. This has always been true of him. A particular instinct for the hidden, the unrecorded, the thing that has decided that it prefers not to be found. As a child, it was birds' nests and lost coins. As a man, it was shortcuts through cities he'd visited once. Antique shops in towns that didn't seem large enough to contain them. In the Bieszczady mountains, on the third evening of a trip we had both needed more than we'd admitted, it was a village. We had been walking since early morning. The Bieszczady does this to you. Strips the hours down, replaces the noise of your actual life with the simpler noise of elevation and weather and the sound your own boots make. We had needed stripping. Marek's father had died in the spring. My marriage was a question mark that had been sitting on my chest for a year. We had not discussed either of these things. We had walked. The valley appeared as the light went amber. Lanterns in windows. Actual lanterns, not electric. Wood smoke rising from chimneys in the cooling air. Perhaps 30 structures arranged around a stone well at the center of the settlement. People moving between buildings with the unhurried purpose of a community that knows its own rhythms. "It's not on the map," Marek said. We stood at the tree line for a long moment. The light was going. The temperature was dropping in the particular decisive way of mountain evenings. We went down. There is no other honest version of this. We went down because the human animal moves toward warmth and firelight regardless of what the cautious part of the mind is doing. Whatever the right choice was, standing cold in the dark, wasn't it? Or so we told ourselves. They received us as though visitors were expected. An older man with a white beard and a coat too heavy for the season met us at the edge of the settlement and took us to a house where a room had been made ready. 2 beds, a table, bread and hard cheese, and a jug of something dark red. He spoke Polish with an accent I couldn't place, something that had older sounds underneath it, like a river running beneath a road. The first hours were, and I want to be honest about this, genuinely good. The people who came to speak with us were interesting. A woman who knew more about Carpathian geology than anyone I'd met outside a university. An old man who told stories about the mountains in the 1950s that should have been tragic and were somehow funny. The food was simple and the company was warm and the fire was real. The wrongness came in slowly, the way cold comes into an old building, not through any one gap, but through all of them at once. No children, Marek noted at first. Not a single one, though there were clearly family units, couples who moved with the ease of long history, older people who were clearly addressed as grandparents, but no children, no one who appeared to be under 40. The food had no taste, not unpleasant, simply neutral, like the idea of bread rather than bread. I drank 2 cups of the wine and felt nothing. The questions were the final thing. Not where are you from, but what do you regret? Not what do you do, but what have you been unable to put down? Not what brings you here, but what would it take for you to stay? Marek looked at me across the table and I looked at him, and we understood simultaneously that we were being assessed. That the warmth was real. I still believed that. But it was the warmth of a place that was deciding whether we were ready to stop. We kept the lamp burning all night and talked until the sky went from black to purple to gray, about his father, about my marriage, about the things we were each carrying that we had not said aloud to anyone. It was one of the more honest conversations I have had with another person, conducted in a room that was, I understood, designed to make honesty feel like surrender. We rose before the village woke, folded the blankets, left the remainder of the bread on the table. The old man with the white beard was standing at the well. He watched us go with an expression I have spent a long time trying to accurately name. Not disappointment, not anger, something closer to a respect that surprised me. The look of something very old and very patient, acknowledging that it had found in us people who were not yet ready to stop. He raised one hand as we passed. I raised mine in return. The village was not there when we looked back from the tree line. The valley held only long grass and the sound of a creek and the early mist moving between the trees. We walked 6 hours before speaking much. At some point, Marek said, "I think it would have been peaceful." "Yes," I said. "My father would have hated it," he said. "He was pathologically incapable of stopping." We laughed. Real laughter, the kind that arrives unexpected and means something beyond itself. The laughter of two men who have looked at a comfortable exit from the difficulty of being alive and found in each other's company a reason to find it faintly absurd. We had things left to do. Marek had a family to grieve with properly. I had a marriage to either repair or honestly end. We had unresolved, difficult, inconvenient things ahead of us. The kind of things that village had been offering gently and sincerely to relieve us of forever. I think about those lanterns sometimes, the quality of the light in that room, the way the fire sounded. But I also think about what Marek's father was like, the stories he told me, the way Marek laughs when he tells them, already turning loss into something that can be carried. The road back was longer than the road down. It always is, but we walked it.